rock and roll.
Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard. Thank you for joining me today. My wonderful and delightful co-host, Miss Ryan Koltastic, is hiding in the back, ready to go do that voodoo that we do so well. Good morning, everyone. I'm hoping you're having a good week so far. It's Wednesday, Woden's Day. And there's some things going on. Today is the second day that the rapture may possibly happen. We don't want to discredit the gentleman from South Africa to discard his thoughts too lightly. So it still could happen. The question of the day, though, really is shouldn't dogs? I mean, if there's a heaven, shouldn't dogs be there? If there's a rapture, shouldn't dogs be called up to heaven? I mean, if there's a heaven without dogs, is it worth going to? That's what we're talking about today, guys, for fun, for kicks and giggles. We'll be back in just a minute. Let's see. Let's do this one. Ooh.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are Conspirowin. Conspirowin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. Conspirowin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and Conspirowin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. Conspirowin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with Conspirowin.
We are back. Thank you, Andy Hall, for that Conspirowin commercial, always keeping us on our toes. I see Andy's posts on Facebook every now and then. If you get the chance, go say hi to him. Maybe we'll get him on the show one of these days. The last time Andy Hall was on the show, we had him on just before the election. He told us Donald Trump was going to win. And we're away. Yeah.
Was that a prophecy?
I guess it was. I don't know. Je ne sais pas. Good morning, Ryan. How are you doing? You're looking lovely today.
Good. Well, I was mid-flight yesterday, like halfway. Yeah, I was getting raptured.
Okay.
But I was thinking about what would happen if I leave Chris behind and all the audience here. I couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that.
Or to the folks in the audience. So I was like, Jesus, I'll see you soon. Like, it's all good, buddy. Like, give me a call. Like, we'll pray. We'll connect. We'll hook up every once in a while, and I'll see you later. And I just floated back down.
That's wonderful. You know what? We appreciate your sacrifice.
Yeah. What a nice sacrifice for a friend. That's what you do for friends.
It is. It is, of course. It's very, very Jesus-like of you.
Well, you know me.
Yes. I saw you out causing trouble yesterday and dropping videos yesterday, and you had like the dots, the freckles.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
freckle thing. Yeah.
Me and the wife were really enjoying that. I thought now suddenly I want to wear freckles. I think freckles are like I may have to wear me some freckles and pigtails. Oh my goodness, pigtails. Look so
Ooh. Oh, you know how funny that would be if you did that.
Don't knock it until you've tried it. I'm just saying.
Go for it. Hey.
So how's your week going, Ryan? Are you having a good week so far?
Yeah, everything's fine. Yesterday my throat was bothering me. I woke up, it felt a little bit tight. It still kind of feels tight this morning, but I'm not sick.
Gotcha.
So it just must be something in the air, maybe the temperature changing, something like that.
Understood. Just yeah. Too much blaspheming on Monday with the godless, the jugs and jugs and Java and jugs. Yes.
Yeah, it could have been that.
I don't know if you notice this or not, but if you look over here, Godless Granny is in the chat. I mean, like the Godless Granny, Miss Kelly.
Who doesn't love Kelly?
I know. Good morning, Kelly. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful little Pippi Longstockings. I know, Pippi Longstockings, Chris. Oh my goodness. That would be so fantastic. Molly Von Erich says there's no time to change your mind. You know, you're right. Let's see. Lord Whale Beef the Mighty is here.
Say what?
Good morning. I know. Lord Whale Beef the Mighty. We've been expecting him. Pardon. 1,000 apologies, Lord Mighty. Lord Whale Beef the Mighty. Lord Whale Beef the Mighty says, my stench be upon thee. We appreciate the blessings. We do. Thank you very much.
You know, I will take any blessing. I don't look a good blessing in the mouth.
Never look a good blessing. That's true. That's true. And here's a weird one. How do you say that? David. Maybe that's how you say it. David. David. David is here.
David.
It's not kind of as cool as Lord Whale Beef the Mighty, but it's still David, though. That is cool. Yeah.
It's all right.
I just like saying that now.
Lord Whale Beef.
Lord Whale Beef the Mighty. You can't leave off the mighty more. There are many Lord Whale Beefs out there. There's only one mighty. I'm just saying.
Lord Whale Beef, yes.
Lord Whale Beef, yes.
Of course.
Lord Whale Beef is going, oh my God, why'd I come into this chat?
I picked that name on a whim. Now they won't let it go.
That's right. Wokenstoke is here. Good morning, Wokenstoke. Adrian Belgrave, Muttley Von Erich, thank you for joining us across the pond. Randall Flagg. Just wanted to say thank you. Thanks for recommending Firefly Daily Atheist. Randall Flagg, did you enjoy that? How far into it are you? Because it's a really good little show. It's fantastic. Let us know in the chat how far into it you are. And Godless Granny, of course. I got to hug Godless Granny in person. It was fantastic. I know.
I'm jealous.
I know.
Was she selling tickets?
I wouldn't say selling because that's called like prostitution, but she was giving it away.
Ooh.
The hugs. I'm saying the hugs. The hugs for free. The hugs were free. They were Godless Granny GG free hugs.
I'd take one of them hugs.
Yes.
I'd even pay for it, Godless Granny.
She would. Under the table, of course. We don't condone that sort of thing on the channel.
You take Bitcoin.
Or food stamps.
The government took my food stamps. Actually, I can't even offer that anymore. They took it away from me. They said, "Bitch, you don't need to eat."
That's right.
Have you
getting a little heavy there?
Have you seen that ass? Have you actually looked at yourself from behind, honey?
Have you ever, girl? I got this one. Have you ever played a game called Portal?
No.
Oh, it's an older game, and if you get the chance, it's probably most. You should check it out. You know, it's where you take it. You're going through this place, and you take put a hole on this wall and a hole on that ceiling over there, and you jump in the wall and you come out this ceiling. It's really cool concept of a game.
Okay.
But you're playing against this computer called GLaDOS, and it insults you the whole time you're going through this thing. Talks about your character, your family, where you were born, who you are. It even starts calling you fat. It's like, come on, waddle over to your next.
For real?
You know, it really gives you shit. It's a fun little game. Portal rocks, according to Captive Desk. They've only made 2. I don't know, 2002, some business like that.
What system?
Oh, and you got a
game system?
huh?
What game system?
I play it on the computer, PC, Steam.
Okay. Steam. Okay, Steam. Then I could probably play it on Steam. We have Steam.
Yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, Steam. I love me some. Oh my goodness, it's good. And it's got this really catchy song at the end. I don't know if I could play it on the thing, you know, because stuff. But it's really catchy. It's a good tune. And I think you're going to enjoy it if you get into it. So how are you doing? I got to ask real quick before I forget. How are you doing for Friday's Sci-Fi Friday? Are you still wading through Battlestar Galactica? How's that going?
So the last episode we saw, the Cylons got a disease.
Oh, the cooties. Okay.
Yeah, they picked up that strange beacon in outer space at the Lion's Head nebula or whatever. I don't know what it was, a nebula or was it a constellation?
The line said nebula, I believe.
Nebula,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And
Yeah.
there was a blinking star, a pulsar in the part of
Like
the
the
medical
eye
looking like
or
an
something.
eye. Yes, the eye
Exactly.
of the lion.
Yeah, so they're all very sick at this
Very
moment.
thick. They're very
Yeah.
thick. Very thick.
Mhm. They're so thick. Oh my God,
So
sickening.
Yeah, so that, all right, cool.
From
I
pretty
guess
far. I think
we'll
there's trying to think of how many episodes that is into the I'm thinking, is it the third season? That's the third season, correct?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. BSG 2001. Season 3, episode 7, A Measure of Salvation. They find humanoid Cylons dying from a virulent disease. You didn't know I could say virulence, did you?
Now try saying acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. That's true. You tricked me. So I've kind of noticed that stuff on the thing. Let me ask the question. I got to ask the question. My chair is rolling here. Who is it that cannot say acetaminophen?
Do you guys know? Have you guys seen it in the audience?
I have not seen it. I'm afraid to think
We have
who it
to.
probably
We have to look it up. We have to show it to people because I watched this morning. I was cracking up.
Okay, who are so I can't say aceta. I can't spell acetaminophen.
Brent knows. Dave knows.
Let's see. Dave knows. All right, let's go here. Based on
Oh yeah, David.
Donald Trump. Oh, let's go here to the videos. Trump's. Oh, okay. All right, we'll do this. I'm going to share. This appears to be a video from somewhere. Let me share this.
He's telling people about autism.
Oh my goodness. This guy shouldn't be telling anybody about anything when it comes to that sort of business. Let's go here and see what he has to say, though.
First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically known as Tylenol.
Oh my God.
During pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
Did your mother, Donald
So
Trump,
taking Tylenol
his mom popped the pills.
All right.
It's not good. Definitely,
good,
definitely
guys.
not good. Definitely not good.
We've
Definitely
cured
not when
everything.
Wapner's on. Yeah.
We've solved everybody's problems, you guys. No more autism.
No more autism. But those of you who got it, you're just kind of stuck with it. Sorry.
Yeah, and we're gonna treat you like something's wrong with you and that you're not worthy of life because
Wait. We're going to acknowledge the fact that there's something wrong with you and you're not worthy of life. I mean, you get it right, lady.
yeah.
You gotta,
Well, at least acknowledge.
Yes. It's you know how the right wings are. I'm sorry. I'm just being facetious. That was good shit.
That was
embarrassing.
Good. Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing that you don't know what acetaminophen is. I'm not saying that it's an easy word to say, but it's a word that I'm familiar with because I've had to take it periodically a long time in my life. If anybody knows that meme.
Periodology. Good morning. Kelly King, the Detroit Queen Atheist, is here. How are you doing? Godless Granny asked a question. Did you see Jimmy Kimmel? He did a montage of the number of times Trump said, "Don't take it."
Oh, really?
Oh, no, I did not see that. Don't take acetaminophen. Really? I wonder what he's going to be hawking something on his own.
Oh, I thought I did piss. I thought I had seen something that RFK is selling stuff.
Yes, some kind of crap. He's already been selling through his crap, and now he's going to use acetaminophen. And yeah, that's what I heard too.
Sorry, you guys. I wanted to look into it, but there's so much going on.
Yeah, Emma Thorne. Thank you for that, Godless Granny. Emma Thorne is a really good resource. She's got she's smart. She's a smart person.
Oh yes, I love her.
Yeah, she's good stuff. So go, if you can, go over there and check out her stuff. Give it a look-see and see what you think. I want to see here. I'd like to see that montage. YouTube Shorts. We'll see what happens here. All right, I'm going to pause that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to share this. Avec vous, mon ami. Mes amis, I guess it would be.
Take Tylenol. Don't give Tylenol to the baby after the baby's born. Every time the baby gets a shot, the baby gets a shot. They say, here, take a cup of Tylenol. I've heard that for years. Take Tylenol. Don't take Tylenol. Don't have your baby take Tylenol. Now, Tylenol is fine for people that aren't pregnant, that aren't in the situation that we're talking about. One very specific situation. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. When you have your baby, don't give your baby Tylenol at all, unless it's absolutely necessary. Don't do it. Don't take Tylenol.
At least he didn't say in this one, was it this one where he said something about the same meeting where he talked about not having sex until you're 12 or some business? You heard about
Wait, what?
that, right? Yeah, there was one of these things where it has something to do with this, because babies can't get these diseases that he's talking about, that he thinks you can't get them until you're of sexual age, until you're having sex. So he's like, so don't give this stuff to babies. Give it to whenever they start having sex, around age 12. Somewhere in here, he said something like that. Not in this obvious one. Well, I'll see if I can find it, though. Let me get this. We don't want the jump scare on the screen there anymore. See what I can find.
He's an absolute creep, demented, to think that he feels confident enough to give the American public health recommendations and advice. I would not take that advice.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I don't care that he's the president. Maybe if he had a proper CDC that I trusted and he's speaking through them, but that's not what he's doing.
I know. I mean, this is like Robert Kennedy, and he's come through and he's just like an anti-vax, just a complete science nutbag. And he's come back and he's drug all of these right-wing anti-science nutbags into the worst place where you wouldn't want anti-science nutbags to be. And he's given them all the power that you wouldn't want anti-science nutbags to have. And they are just the things that the CDC is doing, the HHS is doing under Robert Kennedy Jr. it's horrific. Somebody needs to answer for that. What's the word? I don't want to say blame. Accountability. We need accountability. We don't need to blame somebody. They need to have accountability for what they're doing. Donald Trump needs to have accountability for turning these people loose on the American people, and they need to have accountability for what they have done to the American people, to deny all the science that they are denying. Robert Kennedy is denying studies that have had, I mean, it's just ridiculous, the amount of science that these people are turning their nose up to, and embracing this pseudo nonsense that will end up killing and hurting people, a lot of people. Right.
I mean, there's all kinds of doctors, scientists who understand the science, who have been telling them that's not how it works. It's not a preventable disease, which is what he's claiming. It's something So what he's trying to say, the long and short, is that we, as mothers, are responsible for the autism epidemic.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's a good point, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's not only that, it's also this. It's one of the best, it's one of the most effective pain drugs for women during that time, my understanding. Yes. And by denying you that, by denying you that, they are inflicting pain on women. And the right wing loves inflicting pain on women.
Mm-hmm. They probably think that they're fulfilling scripture by inflicting pain on us because of Genesis. Yeah, they might feel like we have it too cushy. We have it too good. Yeah. If we're not dying through pregnancy, like if we're not willing to risk our lives and give our lives to have babies, then what good are we? Because that's our job.
You know, Muttley Von Erich says, wait, mothers are responsible for autism? I thought it was vaccines. Here's the deal. Here's the catch. Here's the thing. Mothers are to blame for both. See, the mothers are to blame for the autism and their choices to get the vaccine. See, either way, if the mother chose to get the vaccine, so therefore the kid has got autism, or the woman chose to have some pain medicine while she was going through the rigors of childbirth, and so now her child is either way, it's the mother's fault. No matter what, it's always going to be the mother's fault. Isn't it? Oh man! And now Jason Freer says only his base will listen. He is only killing his own supporters. You know, that's an interesting thought, and man, I really appreciate that, Jason Freer. I wish that were true. That's not true. I mean, it's not a lie. It's just inaccurate. Only that he's not killing his own supporters. His own supporters will get the cooties, for example, go to Thanksgiving and give it to family members who do not support him, and they will suffer and they will die. If it were only just his supporters, that would be one thing, but it's not. Their ignorance spreads to other people, and they cause other people harm. That's kind of one of my arguments. Godless Granny says, Emma points out the issue with autism is teaching parents how to understand neurodivergent kids. Trump makes the kids out to be a problem. One of the things, I mean, we hadn't identified. Now, I keep seeing the thing, we hadn't discovered autism since, no, autism was always there. It wasn't discovered.
No.
We recognized it. We recognized it as a situation. It, you know, I could say we discovered it, but it was there before.
Better methods of diagnosing nowadays. And that goes with everything. Things aren't necessarily on the rise. It's just because we, knowing that science is important to the survival of humanity, have been able to detect what these diseases are now more specifically, instead of just saying, oh, you know, send Jimmy out to the institution. We don't know what's wrong with him.
That's right.
That's how they handled it back then. They weren't diagnosing. They were just getting rid of because they don't want to deal with people.
Yeah, getting little Jill her lobotomy. Can't forget. You know, I read a story just like this week about a woman who was institutionalized by her husband for 3 years back in the 1800s or early 1900s, I believe it was, late 1800s. And it was because she wouldn't mind him. There was nothing wrong with her. She just wouldn't be the obedient wife. And once she got into the institution, she was a writer. She found out that there were a lot of women in there who were in there for that very reason. Just they didn't conform, they didn't mind, they didn't listen, they didn't obey their husbands. And they, whenever the woman got out of hand and wouldn't obey that, especially with religious groups, off they would. She wrote stories about it. And she was, hysteria, having to do with the woman's guts. Yes, and men are. I'll look at Donald Trump as far as hysteria and craziness and all that business.
Right, he's hysteric. That's for sure. Let me just read something real quick, if you don't mind.
Please.
Just a little paragraph. In addition to its focus on Tylenol, the White House said it would move to update prescribing information on leucovorin, a medication related to the B vitamin folate, to reflect its use as an autism treatment. A small clinical trial in 2012 suggested the drug may help treat language problems in some children with autism. It said the findings warrant further study, but clarified these were old data, not a breakthrough. So they're trying to take, I guess, old studies that they've attempted to do and extrapolate some kind of data from that. From that. I don't know.
It's like they've gotten an idea of what they want to find, and they've searched through all the millions of research projects to find the finally one that probably kind of closely resembles what they want. And the problem is they deny all the ones that are huge, actual, real studies about vaccines in children. Or what was the other? Was it Tylenol? Is it Tylenol where they had like 2 million? A Swiss study did 2 million.
I'm not sure.
There was something, lots of that. We've got so much proof that this stuff works. And to let them come in there with a sledgehammer and go through it like that is just
it's dangerous. Yeah, it's not only is it criminal, because people will die. They're going to die. Or at least
Ted Bundy would have loved. I'm sorry, not my own glasses. Do you see what I just said?
No, I meant
whack. Ted Bundy would have loved to have had RFK Jr.'s numbers. right? I shit you not. The number of people who are going to die or suffer, especially die, obviously, but suffer and die because of RFK Jr.'s actions are fantastic. The number is just so huge, and it's criminal.
He's
It's an
a
atrocity.
serial killer.
Yeah, on a level, like I said, that serial killers would just so much envy, and just society needs to realize that. Let's see. Therefore, reasons. Let me check our thing. We've got time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run us a commercial here in just a second. We're going to take a break. Philip Lister is here. Good morning, Philip Lister. I think what I'm going to do, I don't know. Greetings, sapient cephalopod. Therefore, reasons, same mindset. Giles is here. I heard Tylenol was effective as a placebo for pain. Yeah, I think the reason why they're going after Tylenol is because it's good for women during pregnancy. It's good for them. It helps them, and they want women to suffer.
That's what
I could actually literally hear someone on their side saying out loud, you know what? Tylenol gets rid of their suffering. We can't have that because they're women and they need to suffer. Just like you were kind of saying.
I wonder, somebody in the comments, I don't remember who said it, but they mentioned Jenny McCarthy, who I've mentioned before, because she was one of the first people that I remember speaking about vaccines when I very uneducated. I was a young mother and this is in the early mid 90s, let's say. And I was just very unfamiliar. I was not into sciences. I wasn't into education. I was just a JW waiting for the end of the world to come. And I had asked my mother, I was like, are vaccines okay? And it was my mom who talked me into making sure the kids always had their vaccines, because she said they're proven that we don't have these diseases because of vaccines. So get the kids vaccinated. And I never had a second thought about it again. But here's my mom now, 20 years later, and she's the one who's not sure about vaccines because of all the rhetoric.
Yeah, because of all the misinformation and lies.
So something that almost got me. Thankfully, my mom got me out of that. Now they're going after my mom.
And, for those of you who don't remember, aren't old enough to remember, Tylenol also had a stigma laid upon it back in the late 90s. I think it was, maybe it's the 80s, whenever some nutbag in, I think it was California or Utah, went into grocery stores and started putting poison in Tylenol bottles and killed several people, and it just led to this huge scare about Tylenol despite being one of the best drugs out there for what it does and for what we need it for. It's just.
Do we know why that happened? What the motive was behind that?
I don't remember.
I don't know either. I was just curious if it was a religious thing. Did he think it was
political, religious?
Yeah. Who knows? Any weirdo who would do that, I wouldn't even trust their reasoning anyway.
Let me just see here. Let's see if this gets me. I'm just kind of, how it is typing. That's what happens when you have the wrong people running the government, says Adrian Belgrave. Couldn't agree more. Actually, the wrong people running the government. Ember says, I want to remind everybody, after this show is over, it's automatically going to pipe you over to Ember. Apparently if we're talking about that 1982, 7 people in Chicago area died after taking extra strength Tylenol laced with potassium cyanide. They never discovered who did it.
Excuse me?
Yeah, this one says there was somebody who was suspected without reading through the whole thing. But yeah, we do know somebody claimed to do it, sending an extortion letter to Johnson & Johnson. That's
kind of creepy.
But he was never charged with the actual murders and always denied committing them. It's kind of weird, how you would. But if you're out there and you're a young whippersnapper and you're wondering why you got to poke your finger through a bottle of Tylenol every time you open it, or some medicine like a store-bought medicine, that's why.
Yeah, the foil.
Yeah, that's why you got to break through that foil nowadays.
I don't drink nothing. I don't eat nothing unless if it has the foil, if it's supposed to have the protection, the protection is broken. No, don't do it. Do not do it. It's not worth it.
I tell you what, let's take a little break. I think today I'm going to go with, I really enjoy our post-mortem, and I got to work on another one. That's good shit, girl. You're willing to help build those commercials, those parodies with me, so I really got to get another one. All right, so we'll be back in a few minutes. We'll do a
Do
thing.
you have a loved one who's on their deathbed, but they've yet to give themselves up to the Lord?
Are you sure you don't want to come to Jesus?
No.
This is your final chance.
No.
Worried they're headed to the fiery pits of hell.
Your very last chance.
No. I've been wicked and sinful. I deserve to burn in the hot place.
As you wish. Farewell, my heathen husband.
Farewell, my...
Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of post-mortem baptismal kits. No more worries about being miserable alone forever. Be a good Christian and share that eternal pain and suffering with the ones you love.
I'm in hell. Not as hot as I thought it'd be. Kind of feels like Houston, minus the humidity. Hello. My favorite drink crafted to perfection. Ooh, and some dank ass weed.
I can't bear to be down on my face chanting, holy, holy, holy is the Lord, every day, all day, for all eternity, by myself.
Wow, is that George Carlin? And Alan Turing, look at that. Carl Sagan, oh, I am so honored. You've been my hero since I was a kid. Neil deGrasse Tyson, what are you doing here? Oh, I get it. I get it. Schrodinger's heathen. Very cute, you. Very cute. That's fantastic. Oh, what is that? What is? It's holy water. Oh, it burns. No, this isn't where I want to be. Pabst Blue Ribbon and a Marlboro? No!
Father Flanagan's post-mortem baptismal kit. Dead kid tested, Mother Teresa approved.
Is that the Pope and John Paul? Jim Jones and Jimmy Swaggart, huh? I can see that coming. Neil deGrasse, what are you doing? Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
Thanks, Father Flanagan.
Damn them to an eternity in heaven for only $59.99. They wouldn't appreciate it, but you'll feel better, and that's the point, isn't it? Get yours now. Your heathen loved one's time is running out.
Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. This is some bullshit. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. We are back. Good morning, Sir Equinox, Adrian Belgrave, Temujin Jag. Thank you for joining us. Somebody, I think, Ian Davenport is here. Good morning, Ian Davenport. Thank you for joining us. And Randall Flagg says, I love your commercials, The Daily Atheist. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I think Adrian might be asking, Adrian, have you not seen the whole hullabaloo, the scuttlebutt on the Rapture, on why it's allegedly happening yesterday, today? Well, actually, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, it was supposed to happen.
Oh, yeah. So Adrian hadn't heard? Oh.
I'm guessing he hasn't heard about it. That there's a pastor from Africa, South Africa, actually, who said that Jesus was speaking to him and he actually heard the trumpets blaring in his ear. Okay, so yeah, he heard trumpets blaring in his ear. And I suppose that he's a trusted pastor, which is why he went viral for this prophecy. And yeah, people have run with it. I think he said it almost a month ago, though. He said it like a month-ish ago. So this has been like accumulation of people so excited for the rapture to come.
Yeah, it's been a minute. My understanding, we briefly touched on this on the show yesterday, is that yes, he started it, but some Christian female here in the United States, one of those far right-wing Christian nationalist kind of women, got a hold of the idea and then made a plea to her friend in a TikTok that went viral. And then in this plea, she's like, oh, you need to convert to Jesus. The end is coming. It's coming soon. And that's part of what's got the whole TikTok up in a roar about this thing is what he did, of course, but she amplified it on her platform with this plea to her friend. Oh, please, I don't want you to burn in hell forever. And so that's really kind of a lot of what's behind it.
And this is like since I've been on TikTok, this is probably the third or fourth time that I've seen people believe the rapture is coming in just the past couple years.
Yeah. I mean, as old as I am, I've seen it come several times. I mean, one of the thank you, Ian Davenport. I'm not sure who you're talking about. I hope you're talking to me or maybe somebody else. But I mean, I remember I mentioned this. It was 2000 to 2012 when the Mayan calendar started over again. You remember all the panic, the Mayan panic?
Yes. I do remember that one. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it 2012? They thought the world was going to. Yeah. Such a weird number. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. This is my thinking, and this is how it was explained to me by my dad. Okay, so we've got January, and we're going through the calendar, and we get to February, and then we go to December, and we get to Christmas, and yay, Christmas, and then we get to December 31st, and then does the world end? And I'm like, no. He says, what happens? I'm like, well, we go back to January 1st. He's like, and that's really all that happens. It just starts another cycle, and
I get another opportunity to sin some more.
But just like that, yes. Yeah. That's the deal, though. We mentioned it. Here's the deal. Maybe the thing is the rapture actually did happen, and there's so few that actually got it right that we wouldn't even notice. For those of you who don't know, I could be mistaken. Somebody out there check me out. But in the United States alone, I believe there's like 1 million missing persons reports per year. 1 million people go missing in the United States per year. It's just one fashion or another reasons. I think the amount of Christians that got called up in the rapture could just be dissolved in that number. It's not like it's going to be 1/3 of the planet's population or anything.
Why not? Why can't it be?
Oh, I know.
All the Christian nationalists caught up and away.
Goodness. Javon R says this was at least my 4th rapture. See, good morning, Javon R. Thank you for joining us. I hope I said your name right. Yeah, there's been quite a few raptures.
Jesus Christ.
End of the world. Was I? Oh, Jesus Christ is here.
Orgasms are better in the clouds, Jesus.
I can confirm.
I wonder if Jesus's jizz creates the clouds. Is that how clouds came to be? Jesus jizz. Glad you got that image in your head. That's how God did it.
I can't. It's kind of hard to get it out. Hey, here's the question that everybody wants to know, though. When he rubs one out, left hand or right hand? Is God right-handed? That's what everybody wants to know.
He makes the angels do it. He doesn't even need his hands.
Oh, that's a good point. They would do it. Now shit just got weird on the channel. But with all those eyes, right?
I think that God takes his boner and he sticks it in between the windows of the firmament. You know what I'm saying? The windows in the firmament where the water's above. So God opens up the window in the firmament, puts his wiener in there, and then, and that's how.
Okay, I buy it.
Brent said, "Where are you going with this, Ryan?" Oh, I went there.
She went there. Yes. Stroking Jesus for the win. Good morning, John Hudson. Step by step adhesive.
Excuse me?
Step by step adhesive. What an interesting name. Oh, cheap followers on Stream Boot. Never mind. Okay, sorry. I already got the cheapest followers. Never mind. We got plenty of cheap followers.
We're cheap.
We're cheap. Living without religion says right-handed. Obviously, left-handed people are flawed. Oh, wait, I'm in 2023. Never mind. It's interesting. For the longest time, left-handed people were I want to use the word persecuted. Left-handed Jedi, don't let me speak for you, though. Feel free to volunteer information in the chat, because I believe we actually have somebody here personally in the chat who was persecuted by the church. It's not like you have to go back to the 17th century to find somebody who has been persecuted openly by the church. It just sounds that way. Let's see. Equus. Okay, you guys are doing your thing. Good morning, Equus. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
they have to stroke his ego. That's one of the things I kind of about the whole God creature, you know, I mean, it's to have to require people to sit around and, you know, do the whole Mike Tyson, you're the best, you're wonderful, you're awesome. Like Mike Tyson paid that one guy to follow him around and tell him to have to demand that from billions of people, to be so fragile and so that you require that you created them for that purpose. To do that. And if they don't do that, you're going to burn them in a pit of fire forever. But then why wouldn't you, right?
But that's not even analogous, if you ask me, because God created us. We are his children, and he forces the people he's supposed to love. At least homie's paying them. We ain't getting nothing. We're just forced to do it because we're allegedly his creation. At least Mike Tyson paid people.
That's right. At least the guy got paid. That's true. He got paid.
Yeah.
We're supposed to believe we'll get paid in the afterlife. I don't think
our reward.
Right. Let me ask you, do you think if Mike Tyson told that guy, said, listen, man, you're going to get paid in the afterlife, millions of dollars. I just don't think the guy would have done it. Do you think he would have done it?
I would freaking hope to hell not. But it only takes one Christian.
It really does. It really only takes one. Living without religion says, come on, why would perfection create anything, let alone hateful imperfection that it has to fix? That is synopsis. So true. This perfect creature created something in its own image and almost immediately destroyed it. It's like, oh my God, that's disgusting. Stomp it out, burn it with fire, drown it.
Get rid of it.
What kind of God is this?
I mean, when we make things that
come up here.
Like a car, let's say, we have recalls. We bring the car back. We don't
Daisy
to produce cars.
Oh,
hi, Daisy.
Wrong end.
That's the wrong end.
There's
we don't
Daisy.
produce cars that have defects that could kill people. We take them off the road and we fix them. But God just keeps producing the defects.
He does. Apparently in great numbers. So Daisy is my sound engineer. For those of you who don't know, she's our sound engineer on the show. And whenever I get too out of hand, she comes and kind of lets me know that I got, and me over here stomping on Christians or whatever God was doing a minute ago. Oh yeah, stomping on his creations. That was hilarious though, right? I'm gonna have to make a video out of that. That was funny as fuck. All right, baby. And Ollie's over there. Yeah. So yeah, Daisy, she's just kind of worried about the microphones and all that stuff. For those of you who didn't hear, after the show, whenever I close out the show, it will pipe you automatically over to Ember's show. She's doing a show after mine. It's wonderful. Go check her out.
Very interesting topics over there.
What is the topic today, Miss Ember? If you don't mind, I saw it, but I forgot shit.
Dating by God? Is that what it is? Dating by God?
Dating by God. Dating by God. Oh, I don't know if we will even notice when both real Christians leave. I know. That's a great point.
Those two good Christians.
David says, my family is from Eastern France, middle of nowhere, mountain boonies. People there know who RFK is and support him because all their social media supports him.
What?
That's disturbing.
That's kooky.
You know, I want to say one of the things that we should do is learn from our mistakes. And we really need to learn that the First Amendment does not apply to intentional lies and misinformation, especially coming from people who are running for office of the government or for medical people. These are places where you just cannot allow lies and misinformation. And because people die by the millions whenever you do. So those are some of the rules I think we should have. K-Mass is here.
Woohoo.
I know they said they were coming, but nobody actually. I mean, finally. K-Mass says, my question to everyone who's calling themselves non-believers is, why would you choose to be dead forever when you could choose to be living forever? Well, that's an interesting question.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, that's yeah. Well, what if you've been lied to and you're going to sacrifice your whole life and do all kinds of weird stuff? Like you don't believe that witch doctors, they're going to, I mean, that's all just craziness, right? So this person spends all their life learning all that stuff and making all their little spells and learning all the little dances. And they do it for nothing. It's just all a waste. How are you not different? Those people who claim your God is powerful can't prove it in any fashion, through prayer, through healing. The people who claim to be the people of God almost always turn out to be the most horrific people. All you have to do is look on the news and just search for priest arrested. And it's not going to be for laundering money. It's not going to be for stealing cars. It's not going to be for robbing banks. It's going to be for essaying children almost every freaking time. So where's your God? How is it that your God in his own house cannot protect children? I think you came to the wrong chat, friend.
And if there's an assumption that living forever is going to be a good life, that is it, just an assumption. What if that's living forever to be abused by somebody who has more control and authority and power than you do? I don't feel that that's a good trade-off. I know that I have this life. I can, every day I do my best to make this life better, make friends, do good things. And I'm okay with that. Forever, I don't know what that forever entails. That's kind of scary.
Part of the thing I think is that oftentimes the people who wrote the Bible didn't know what forever meant. They had no concept of how old the universe was. And whenever they say you're going to burn in hell forever, they just didn't know what forever was. They had no concept of what forever was. Did something get you, girl?
I was laughing at somebody from, it looks like Twitch. They said every man will get prostate cancer by 150. Pass.
Green Day. Well, we had scientific people working on that until Herr Trump got in there and started taking down science and defunding all that business.
Yeah, I wonder how many studies and scientific data has now just been lost to the ether.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. How many decades have we been set back in scientific research? Mm-hmm. Godless Granny says, I find the claims by Catholics that pedos aren't real Christians an admission that they can't tell a Christian priest from a fake priest. That's kind of that's a good point. I mean, and the problem with that circumstance with that church is not that they couldn't tell them apart. They could. They did. They actively could tell them apart, separated them, and sent them to places where they could hide for a little while and then moved them to other places, all of which where they could continue doing what they were doing. They didn't bring them to justice. They just moved them around. So that's actually willful acknowledgement that they knew. There's, that's kind of, there's one thing to not know, but to know these people knew. I'm just saying. That's my thing.
Just saying.
Yeah. John Hudson, good point, says track record says women will be abused along with people with melatonin. Very true. Yes, any amount almost.
Melatonin. What about melatonin? Melatonin?
Is that it? Yeah, if you got any, you're going to be discriminated against. It's essentially, yeah. The more you have, the less you're worth, apparently, based on the way the Christian right seems to go. Or there was a time. Do you guys remember a time where you could actually separate? You could draw a delineation line, blurred as it may have been, between the conservative party and white supremacists. You couldn't say all conservatives were white supremacists, but all white supremacists are conservatives. You used to be able to say that. That line is no longer blurry. It's just not there anymore. Donald Trump, all the way from Donald Trump to his what are those, Pete Hegseth, all the way down, Herr Miller, or Hairless Miller. When I say hair, it's Herr as in German, Mr. Miller, but you know what I mean. Dr. Osiris has joined us. Wow, over on TikTok. I know, the TikTok is going on. Kip Davis, forever in our Bible translations is also often incorrect. In Hebrew, the word generally means something like a lifetime. Yeah, that's kind of, and that's that they
Thank
clearly,
you for that, Kip.
They clearly didn't have the same idea of what an eternity is that we do.
Well, they lived 900 years, so.
Only the good ones, though.
I'm just kidding.
Only the good ones. Those were the blessed. Bottle Sparks is here. Equus is here. All the cool, David, and all that matters. That's true. Philip Lister, earlier I saw you mention we're in a bunch of your groups. Thank you very much for posting us over there. Philip says religion opposed progress from the end of the Western Roman Empire until the 16th century. 1,000 years of suppression of technology. I want to agree with that and say that it didn't actually stop there. I understand and absolutely appreciate what you're saying, Philip, 100%. I just don't want anybody to misthink that it stopped oppressing them. No, religion has continued to oppose progress right up to this very point. Part of the problems that we've got going on right now in our thing is that a lot of this misinformation is led by Christians who doubt science and don't want to believe the science. Right now, they're opposed to the science that says, hey, you know what? That's not actually a baby. And you probably need to mind your own business. They doubt those kinds of sciences.
And God, and that's obviously, I don't believe it. I don't fall for that. But if they believe that God created the sciences, why not use what God gave you for your benefit, to prolong your life, to make it better?
Truth. That's right.
Instead of going into the fact of fracking dark ages.
Yeah. Here's this other thing, though. God created everything. God created the heavens and the earth, and a lot of them have this notion that they can just destroy the earth because God's going to rebuild it or rebury it or do something with it. Yeah, and it's here for them to use and wipe their ass with while man is here. And I don't like that. I think, wouldn't you think? I mean, as a good Christian, this is all God's Garden of Eden. This is our Eden, and we should be taking care of it, bitches. But they don't. But they do not. That's part of the reason why they fight the climate denial. Their climate denials is because.
Yeah, and Trump's been on about that. Was he speaking to the UN? Who was he addressing the other day?
Yes.
And he was complaining about people's countries. Like, he was talking shit about people's countries and their mayors and whatnot, their presidents, in front of an audience.
Yeah.
That is not a leader. That's not a diplomat.
It's really not.
It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, he's demonstrated so many times. He's not an American politician that we would recognize. Throughout my lifetime, it didn't matter what the atrocity was. The Timothy McVeigh thing, I mean, every time we've had an atrocity throughout this country, the politician's job is to bring the country together. Donald Trump did exactly not that. He actually started pointing fingers and instigating more violence. That alone, I mean, goodness gracious.
He's a big proponent of violence.
Yep. Double G videos.
We're the ones who are violent. Sorry.
That's true. No, you're right. Yeah, he points the finger at us while being violent in doing so. They're the violent ones. Go get them. They're bad. They're wicked. They're evil. Yeah. Stop hurting me. Stop hitting
yourself.
That is true. Double G, yes. Glenn says true conservatives are now extinct. True conservatives, I saw a thing the other day that said true conservatives would be more like, I don't know, Pete Buttigieg. And Bernie Sanders and AOC would be more what the rest of the world would consider centrist. And we don't actually have a far left party at all.
No, as Brent has said before, I think our window has moved, unfortunately. And
so far.
But I am hopeful. I always try to keep hope alive. And I in my heart do believe that next year, when, elections are and whatnot, I hope that people will acknowledge that they've made mistakes. Because that's what it takes. It takes people saying, I was wrong. And instead of voting with their Christian identity, vote for what's better for this country. I hope. I'm keeping that alive.
Yeah. Brent A, Overton window. That is true. Yes. And see, here's the deal. I wish it were a couple of years. No, I don't wish it were a couple of years. I want it done. I want it done now. I want it done quickly. And what's going to happen, this is what we've been talking about. I do understand you're talking about the next presidential election, but the midterm elections happen within the next couple of months. And within the next couple of months, a lot of shit is going to go down, and Donald Trump is going to try to take voting off the table. They're already losing seats. The little seats that are coming up early. Every one of them has been turning over to Democrat. They're already losing seats. They know. That's why they're doing all this gerrymandering of these states. And so they know they're going to lose. So something's got to break very soon. And I think that's going to happen. That's part of the reason, man. Wes, damn it. You know,
it's the only way he's going to be able to hold on to power. So if he is unable to get it through, he's going to be out the door.
Yeah, they lose the midterms, and they lose the Congress and the Senate, and then Donald Trump will be. He knows he'll be pulled out of office. He'll be impeached. He'll be convicted. He knows. I mean,
which is why he's trying to go after the people who went after him before.
Desperately.
Very
desperately. Yeah, I'm so glad that he posted that publicly, that email,
and then deleted it, right?
Oh man, that was so great that he did that. That was just evidence against him. And then Patel actually literally came out and said, "I was told to go after those people because they went after Trump." He's admitted that, the FBI director. So there's got to be some lawsuits and all this business coming very soon. Yes, very soon. It's actually, I'm going to take us a little break, and I'm going to throw the holy halos at people, I think, this morning. I'm giving them all the good stuff today. We got a new person in the chat. Well, Chet Klug is here. Good morning, Chet. Thank you for being here. Dems need to vote as a block. You know, we do need to change some things. Some things do need to change. The conservatives have demonstrated that the old ways don't work, and we need to fix things to protect people from the rich. Any rich person out there, really rich person out there, if you're wanting to buy me out, I am purchasable. Yeah, I can be bought out. Whatever you're going to pay the assassin, just send me half.
I'll help.
Yeah, see, there you go. Help what?
I'll help. I'll help with all of it if you're going to pay me. Just kidding.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah. I'm not a sellout, folks.
Oh yeah, but my sellout would be so obvious. If you saw me sell out people, you would know. You'd be like, "Oh my God, this is a Chris." You'd be in the chat. They'd be going, "Chris, blink twice if you're okay," and I'd be like, "I'm not okay. I can't blink twice." It would be so obvious, you know. The only thing, I mean, the one thing, this does get stressful. It gets old. It gets stressful, and I want to be done with it. I love science fiction. I would very, very much love to switch to doing science fiction reviews. Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier on your mental and physical health and stress levels. I can tell you that much, instead of waking up feeling like I'm sweaty and my hands are shaky because I'm not sure what's going to come up in the news today.
That's true. And one of the things is, down the line in history, whenever people want to know how I felt about what was going on and what I did, they'll be able to go and look. I said my words. I said the thing. I warned people. I warned people for years. My part is done. There's nothing else I can do. Anything else, any more hollering I do does nothing more than endanger me. You know, the bigger I get, the more I become a problem. But I'm so tiny, it doesn't matter anyway, you know. But you say that, but then you see people all over the country losing their jobs because the wrong person of a right mindset in the right place, and they start firing people because of, you know, that whole First Amendment for me, not for thee thing.
And then on top of that, all the job losses as it is and layoffs as it is, it's getting dicey in this country.
The economy is collapsing. It is absolutely collapsing. That one guy, the Fed chief, who comes out and he normally never lower the thing. He's just being forced, literally gun to his fucking head, not literally, figuratively, gun to his head to lower those. And he even comes out and says, essentially, everything is going to shit. Prices are going up. Employment's going down or bad or whatever. Everything is going. Unemployment is going up. Everything is going to shit. But this is what you get, and we're lowering the rate.
Yeah, he did lower it, did he not? After saying he wasn't going to do it, He had
no choice. Is that or get replaced?
Basically,
and that's not how shit should work. When
Yeah.
you don't like the answers, like the jobs report lady, to fire the jobs report lady because she comes out and gives an accurate jobs report lady, that's, I mean,
I
that's
don't like the numbers, so I'm just
totalitarianism.
gonna fire
Right.
you.
Right. I'm going to try this. Ooh, let me see this. Tawhid Islam. Tawhid Islam? I hope I said that right. Tawhid Islam says Christians are funny people. They think God is some tiny human with a white beard sitting on a throne. In Islam, God is bigger than this whole universe, and we know the universe is unbelievably big. Well said, I would have to think. I'm going to say Tawhid. Is that okay? It's just simpler. Tawhid. I would think that to some degree you're correct. And some degree you're wrong. I think there's probably a lot of Muslims out there who believe the same thing. They don't have an overall concept of how big the universe is and how big their God must be in order to be all consuming of that universe. But absolutely for Christians. There are some Christians out there who will sit there and go, oh yeah, I've heard there are trillions of galaxies. This place must be huge. And then their God is claimed to be outside of time, outside of the universe. That's the apologetics ones. But your average run-a-day Christian who just walks out of the church, thumping their Bible, praying, voting against abortion, they don't know none of that shit. And you are absolutely right. It's just some little old white man looking down from heavens, looking over their shoulder, and smiles when they write a check to their church.
And their views have changed over time anyway. Like Christians, they used to believe that God had a form and walked on the earth with humans, and he could show his face to people. So it's changed over time anyway. They can't even keep it straight. They don't know if he is somebody who can walk upon the earth or if he's just this idea just floating in outer space somewhere.
Very true. That's true. And that, of course, now I want to mention for those of you, Dr. Kip may appreciate this, that I actually know. There, if I remember right, there's some sort of Jesus's battle for humanity's soul didn't actually take place on earth. It took place in a metaphorical space between earth and heaven or some business like. I mean, there's some really out there thinking. I'm not saying that's the actual or original. It's kind of hard to say which one is the correct one. Well, how do you know which one's right? But I can say which one's the oldest one or whatever. But I've heard those tales that's their excuse because Jesus failed on this plane of existence. Clearly. So he had to elevate to the next plane of existence, and that's where he battled for our soul. Daryl is here.
Daryl? This is my brother Daryl.
Nobody, and my other brother Daryl. That's right. And nobody even said Daryl was coming. I mean, don't we have like bouncers and stuff in here, don't we? They just let anybody in. I know. Nobody's and high patient Stanhope.
Hi, patient.
We used,
I love
you know,
being
this place used to have. Me too. This place used to have standards. Now they just let everybody in.
Well, now they let me in, so the standards have gone to hell. I'm just saying, they're going to shit.
That's right. Thank you all for joining us. Their God, says Bottle Sparks, their God has morphed into their image, a product to be manipulated. The chat rolls. I want to mention Dave Murphy was in the chat. Excuse me, Dave Murphy.
Yeah, I saw him and I felt bad. I didn't say, like, you ever see things and you know in your head you're acknowledging it, but it doesn't come out that you're not like it's like when you see somebody with a nice haircut or they're wearing a pretty dress and you see it in your head, you're like, oh wow, they look so nice, but you don't tell them. That was me when Dave
walked in.
Yeah, my head's excuse me, but it didn't come out.
Gotcha. Dade forgives us. Dade is a loving soul,
Almighty
gentle and
Dade.
kind. Almighty Dade, thank you.
For blessing.
Dade pointed out, and I believe ever so correctly, that it's actually pronounced Christians, not Christians. We, especially in the Southwest, I don't know about where the rest of you come from, say Christians like Krishna, like Hare Krishna, but it's actually Christians. And I dig it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. One of the things I think is interesting that I'd like to tack onto this is the word Christianity is a word. It's an amalgam of two different words, Christian and insanity. Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you here in front of Ryan. Well, I might. I do.
I believe it.
Yeah. See, Christian and insanity. Yeah, that's right.
Believe that.
I'm just saying. I can't pronounce it that way. Sounds weird to me, but you're right. Yeah, it takes some practice. It's taking a little practice for me to call them Christians too. But I'm getting there. yeah. Because I'm not that you're not. I'm just like, I'm a person that likes to try to advance and be better.
Yeah, you want to be better. I get it.
Oh yeah. And whenever I finally determined that my accent was actually better than an English person's accent, objectively speaking, of course, then I was like, okay, fuck them. I'm just good. Now let me just get the words right. Neurogeezer walked in the door. It was like,
oh, and did we hear the
wah, wah, wah.
and then the little dust bunny comes rolling through the door?
Yeah. That was Neurogeezer. Good morning, Neurogeezer. You probably got the best intro of anybody on the show today. I'm just saying.
Better than me. You know what I don't understand about Christians, though? I'm sure it's like a silly thing, but well, Christ is Messiah.
Okay.
So they're Messiahans. They believe in messiahs, plural, or one Messiah specifically. Because it feels like it should be, by the name, it feels like it would be more than just one Messiah. Okay.
I'm gonna throw something out there, and I think this is going to be the thing. And I'm gonna throw this out there, and you rate this.
Okay?
No. I think that most Christians don't know there was more than one Messiah. They don't know that a Messiah was just a leader that was supposed to come to save the people, like a general that popped out of nowhere. They don't know that. They think of Messiah as a singular, solitary thing. I think they don't know that there's more than one.
Yeah, true.
If I were a thinking man, I've never been accused of that publicly.
Careful what you wish for.
I know. The older I get, Christoids, John Hudson.
Christoids?
Christoids, it's like you
sounds like something I get from sitting on the toilet.
Exactly right. It's exactly right.
There's ointment for those Christoids, Ryan.
There really is. What is that
it mentholated?
Word? Oh yeah, that would. Oh goodness gracious!
It burns.
Yeah, well, so there'd be preparation H. Obviously, we'd need some preparation H for your Christoids. Paulinians. Really, Dave Murphy has nailed it on the head for me. That's where I go. Mm-hmm. I feel that most Christians are actually Paulinians. And if you are actually a true Christian, a follower of the teachings of Jesus Christ, or Jesus, that person, that individual, if you were actually following his teachings, you would be a Jew. You'd be teaching Jewish teachings. You'd be doing Jewish things. Jesus did Jewish things. Jesus did the Passover. That's a Jewish thing. Jesus did a lot of things that were Jewish things. Jesus' dick cut off. Well, part of his dick cut off. That's a Jewish thing.
Just the tip.
Almost exclusively Jewish thing, except for the Egyptians and that sort of thing. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, it is time. Let me go ahead and run I want to do another thing here. I'm going to get a coffee. You want a long break or a short break? You want to do the Holy Halos or let's see, we've got Pharaoh's Curse, Ghost-Scented Flesh Candles. What do you think we could stun the people the most with?
What's the most shocking?
I'll tell you what, we'll run a quick 30-second one, and then we'll run a good one after that. Let's shock people first.
Is our humble parish tired of constant litigation? Drained by bloodthirsty lawyers, sucking the collection plates dry? Well, no more threats of jail time and public humiliation. Try Father Flanagan's line of inflatable altar boys. Cute little fellas, eyes and mouth wide with surprise, complete with lifelike tears. Father Flanagan's line of inflatable altar boys, coming to a Walmart near you.
All right, so we're going to do, that was a fun one. That was just to kind of make people clutch their pearls. We'll be back in a minute. Let's do the Holy Halos, and you guys enjoyed the first episode of the Bark Bank when Father Flanagan tries to sell his Holy Halos to the Barks. Next up in the Bark Bank, a clergyman with a holy hustle, and maybe a few unholy loopholes.
Hi, Barks. Blessings and belly rubs to you all. I'm Father Flanagan, and today I'm here seeking $50,000 for 3% of my soul-saving startup, Holy Halos, the world's first, soon-to-be, church-approved condoms. following the ways of the Lord can be hard and often require sacrifices of the flesh. Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of Holy Halo condoms.
Hold on, Father. The church very much doesn't like condoms. How do you expect to sell these?
Well, you're right, but these aren't just any condoms. No, my furry financiers, these are permeable. But every single halo has been dipped in holy water, a divine divider between you and sin. You can finally frolic freely and still keep that sweet spot in heaven. Permeable, but dipped in holy water to keep the sin out, but let the babies in.
Let you get your stick wet without getting your stick stuck.
If you know what I mean.
Oh my! Very embarrassing every time.
So basically, they don't work as condoms, but they let you get away with having sex without going to hell?
Exactly. The church gets to keep making babies, but you don't have to keep going to confession. Think of it. No more guilt. No more awkward I'm saving myself for marriage speeches. With holy halos, you can take those pray hands and turn them into lay hands.
Didn't I read that holy water is full of bacteria like E. coli? Won't this be harmful to women's health?
The words are English, but I don't understand the question.
How are you addressing the issue holy water presents for women's health?
Again, I'm not understanding.
She does that. Well, we don't get it either.
Is that mesh from a window screen?
Ah, that's a keen eye you have there, young lass. Yes, yes. Another fine selling point, rough on the outside to increase her shame as it should be, but soft and smooth on the inside, internally lubed and ribbed for his pleasure. We even have custom scents.
Scents? Now you have my attention. What flavors we talking? Don't pitch me that vanilla missionary nonsense, Padre.
Well, we do have virgin vanilla, but we also have miracle mint and cooing camel and my personal favorite, sweat of the Savior.
And the Vatican, they've blessed this endeavor?
Well, not exactly. I'm still waiting on the papal decree one way or the other.
I love it, but you're asking 50 grand for only 3%. That's rough, Father, real rough.
Not running with the big dogs on this one. I'm gonna stay on the porch.
Me too. Good luck, Father. 15%.
Ouch, 15%, that's highway robbery even for the church.
Come on, Father. We're dogs. We know a bone when we see one. 10%, and we'll even bless your branding.
Look, meet me in the middle, 7%, and I'll baptize all your puppies.
7% works for me. Father Flanagan, it looks like
Wait a second. Our producers say we have a special call-in bidder. Let's get him up on the screen. Folks, we have the guardian of the sacred fire hydrant himself.
Oh no.
Defender of the holy tennis ball and eater of the golden kibble, Pup Oliver Poops a Lot the Fifth.
Flanagan!
Yes, your poetry.
50,000 at 20%.
20%?
And you get to keep calling yourself a father.
Sold to the pup in the very fine hat.
I knew you'd see it my way.
You're very wise, your hiney. Would there be anything else?
You may leave.
Father Flanagan's line of holy halos, ultra thin, spiritually thick. Available in 3 sizes: conservative, medium, and liberal.
All right, we are back. Tawhid, I just want to mention that the argument, see, there's a Muslim in the chat arguing for that the moon had actually been split in half. And whenever there's something that I didn't see anybody else mention, but I just kind of want to throw out there. We had like people in China and India, cultures well beyond those wandering the Middle East at the time. And they didn't report the moon splitting in half. Now the argument from the Muslim individual claims, it was only meant to be seen by those specific pagans right there who Muhammad was specifically trying to convert.
Oh, pardon me.
So, I mean, that's just kind of, that's not a very good one. I'm just saying. I'm going to move on because other people in the chat are. I just wanted to throw my. Yeah, there would be evidence, especially if a God creature like this God creature from the Bible and the Quran, he has no shame. There's no shame in the God. Why would it hide its example that it made. If it had split the moon to demonstrate it, it would have demonstrated for everybody. And that it certainly wouldn't have been ashamed of it and hidden that proof for no one else to see.
I concur.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Thank you. And since we both agreed on that, that makes it true. We should write our own
That's
Bible.
how it works.
Ooh, do you want goats? We could ask for goats when people get married or have babies. Ooh, we could say they have to give us a goat.
Goaty gifts.
I don't know that I really like goats so much. I'd prefer gold. Cars, maybe. Father Flanagan's ghost scented flesh candles really would be good enough for me. It's gold.
I'm easy.
Yes, I've heard that.
Doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. I know, Rainbow Ash, the whole moon was split in two. I know, right? That's one of the worst stories, the worst defenses of a higher power's power to say that this happened, or that Muhammad rode into the sky on a donkey, flying on a donkey. But really, I gotta say, guys, I don't typically talk about Islam because I don't know enough about it to go bashing it. I know just a couple of things. The only reason why I'm even mentioning these is because our Muslim individual is throwing those out there as his evidence. And my super, super, super tiny little knowledge was able to counter that horrifically unfortunate example of evidence.
There's a big crack in the moon.
That,
oh, wait,
there
that's
is.
sapient bending over.
Yeah. Of course, I'd like to hear Dr. Kip's thoughts on that, or somebody who's into the Islam. I just remember one time he's saying, get a Muslim to say, but I'd like to hear a scientific historian, like a historian's side of what they think about Islam and the taking apart of the moon and these other things. Because my understanding is Muhammad was also alleged to have traveled like 1,000 miles overnight with the use of a lamp or some business.
Oh,
I could be misremembering. Yeah, there was things, a lot of there were claims made.
yeah, I have no clue.
There are. See me, yeah, me either. I could be misremembering some shit. So living without religion says, oh, you had to know the moon innuendos would be coming. Man, yeah, I guess so, huh?
There's a man on the moon.
Dr. Cat is here. Good morning. It's not history, it's metaphysics. Yeah. Hell's bells. Good morning. Hell's bells. Thank you for joining us. Finally, dragging your ass out of bed. Slacker. They did say slacker. Yes. Hell's bells was a slacker. I heard that.
We've been here holding up the chat all morning,
Waiting on you. Finally getting here. Cat says it's not history. We got you, Cat. Sapphic hazard. So it like it used to be cleavage. I don't know where that came from, but I'm a fan of cleavage. The moon. Oh,
with the two
it
hands.
Was cleaved. It was cleaved in half. It's cleaved.
I see.
The moon was cleaved.
There we go. With what, I wonder? What do you cleave it with?
That's a good question. The power of God. Grumpy Librarian says, Chris, despite Muslim claims, the Quran has so many textual variations that we can't in good faith compile a critical edition of it, which we have done for the New Testament. It's a loser religion. That's one of the fascinating things right now that, to be honest, is if you wanted to, and I don't want to depend entirely on AI, but you could ask AI to give you an objective analysis of the contents of their books. I've done that with whenever I did the video on the fact that there's nothing in the Bible that God does without violence or threat of violence. Everything is hate, rage. There's no comments. And I had the chat research through the Bible to find me instances, if there were any, that kind of thing. You could go through and have it analyze. You just got to be careful what you get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
What you get out of it's part of what you ask too.
Yeah. Better to do it in like small batches.
Yeah. Well, you can say, okay, well, tell me how many times this word appears. And, oh, wow, the word hate appears more in the Quran. But really, technically, the word love appears more in the Quran. Yeah. And it's actually because it's always telling you love your father or love God. Praise or peace. Peace is more shows up because it's peace be upon him. So they count every time they say peace be upon him as saying peace. And now the Quran all of a sudden says peace more than other religions. You see how they twist the thinking there? Anyway, let's see what's going on. No examples of the Bible, God being good without death and destruction. That's exactly right, Philip Lister. That was the video I made. There were a couple of examples they tried to give us, like in the story of, Jonah and the whale. There was this city that got spared by God. God was going to destroy them. I'll make that point. But they got spared because they repented. That's not a God sitting down them and using reason and love and compassion to talk them into his ways. He had threatened them with complete and utter destruction, and it was only because they repented. So there was always the fear. God does nothing without fear, the threat of fear, death, always. There's, it's just kind of, and even when we talk about Jesus, let's talk about Jesus. What happens if you don't believe in Jesus? There's a fear threat there, right? An immediate, utter fear threat. That's right. Utter destruction.
Armageddon's coming for you, baby. Just for you.
That's right. You and your dog. Because they're jerks about that. Sapphic Hazard says billionaires in silly costumes at least exist. Very true. The only unlikely part of Batman is the billionaire being a decent person. So far, there are billionaires out there we've kind of heard of who are cosplaying as decent people. I want to say Bill Gates, because he's giving away all this money. Yeah. Hey, it affects me nothing. It has no effect on me. It will not change my life in any way, but I'm going to do it so I can get a good name. Alfred Nobel did that. If you know who Alfred Nobel?
No, I mean, I know it, but I don't know what the deal is.
But all right, so that's a great example. Do you know what do you know of Alfred Nobel? One thing you probably know about him.
The only thing I know is a Peace Prize.
The Peace Prize. That's right. Alfred Nobel actually invented nitroglycerin, and it killed lots of people. And then he invented like a gun cotton to make it less volatile because he lost a brother in a factory explosion. Oh. So he made his nitroglycerin more stable by putting it in cotton, and then they went further and they turned it into dynamite and TNT, which are not the same thing. And he invented all of those things.
Wow!
And because of his work, hundreds of millions of people have been killed. He helped develop bombs and weapons and all kinds of stuff. Had 90 armament factories or 90 factories running, building explosives when he died.
Damn.
Now, before he died, his brother died. One of his other brothers died. He had several brothers. His other brother died. And when this guy's brother died, the journalist who reported on it misread. He thought it was Alfred Nobel, not his brother who had actually passed away in France. So he wrote, there was this merchant of death dies. And that was how they were describing him. He wasn't dead. But that's how people were describing him, the merchant of death and all this stuff. And so he didn't want to leave that legacy. And having roughly $350 million in today's money, then that's what he set out with the prize. He set a prize to give a prize in 5 different areas of science, and one of them is Peace Prize. And so now he essentially bought the persona of a man of peace, the father of peace. Most people only think of him as the Peace Prize.
Wow. All that recognition. Yeah. And when you get to understand his history, it's all just a cover up.
That's what I do. I drink coffee and I know shit.
Yikes.
Yeah. So Alfred Nobel, that's kind of the good Christian. I don't know if he's a Christian or not.
Might as well be.
They'd have loved his numbers. I'm just saying. Yeah. Let me catch up with our chat. Sir Equinox, good morning. In all fairness, dynamite has peaceful uses. It really does. A lot of the things that it can be used with these things. Absolutely. The railroads were created, things like that. Matter of fact, Allegedly. Let me start that story over again. So his dad started the nitroglycerin, I think, and it was too dangerous, so he stepped away from it. Alfred came back and picked it up, was making it, was selling it, but it was very volatile. Then his younger brother died in an explosion in a factory. And at that point, he decided to make nitroglycerin safer. That's why he put it into gun cotton, because then you could use it without, and it took him a lot of time and money and resources on his own part to turn it into gun cotton. Gun cotton was better, but it wasn't perfect. So that gave him to putting it into a powder format that helped to turn it into the sticks of dynamite that we actually know today. And those things were even safer. So his work in a lot of ways was to make the things safer for the people using them, like people digging mines for railroads. Originally, they used black powder, and it was very unfortunate and dangerous and all this other business. Then they switched to with nitroglycerin, they could work a lot faster with a lot fewer men and get a lot more cleared. But if they weren't really careful, but but with sticks of dynamite, if you get them in a humid environment and they start sweating, they sweat nitroglycerin and will explode. So there are complications that he had to go through all of those things to help figure out. So it depends on how you view it. He didn't see himself as a merchant of death in a way. But then I guess who would, right? Did Hitler see himself as a merchant of death?
Probably not.
Probably not. Did Pol Pot? Probably so. If you see what Pol Pot did, you probably, you've seen those things of skeletons, like of buffaloes from the 1800s when the buffalo skeletons. They had the same thing with human skeletons. It was the thing in Cambodia was most unfortunate. That was most. Oh my gosh. He made a compound as well, and it wasn't as safe. That was the deal. We're all on the same page in the chat. Yeah, he made things that were, especially considering when they made them. So interesting stuff. Let me check on our poll. We actually do have a poll.
We haven't even looked at it today.
We have not looked at our poll today. The link is in the chat up at the top if you want to go up there and vote. We have had 40 votes. The question of the day is, today is Rapture day number 2. It could happen at any moment. So if you see me just like get pulled up into the heavens, you know what happened. The question of the day is, dogs are awesome. Shouldn't they get raptured as well? Now, again, friends, if you haven't voted, there's a link in the top of the chat. Go vote, come back here. Don't let it take you away. Anyway, so the options are, yes, thumbs down on the GOD that won't allow a DOG. Okay? Boo. That's option number 1. That's coming in second place, in fact. Option number 2 is, yes, dogs probably deserve it more than people. 68% of our respondents have said dogs probably deserve heaven more than people. That's what we should be doing. We should be the ones outside heaven, looking inside on the windows and licking the windows, hoping we could get in, but dogs would be on the inside because they're so cool. We have 3% of the people said no, dogs are yucky. And in parentheses, I make sure to add ever so correctly, I wasn't hugged enough as a child. We have 3% of the vote for that. Looking at you, godless granny, dog hater extraordinaire. And then we actually have 5% of the vote. She never said that, by the way, so don't go after godless. She didn't say she hated dogs. I put those words in Gigi's mouth. She beat my ass next time. Anyway, and then our final option was no, dogs have done nothing to earn going to heaven. I'm a selfish jerk. 5% of our respondents have chosen that.
Jeez.
So, yeah. If you're old enough, back in the 80s, was it? It was late 80s, early 90s. They had this big rigmarole in the news about Christians were all up in arms because they made a movie called All Dogs Go to Heaven. And a lot of Christians, do you remember that? When they made the All Dogs Go to Heaven movie? And a lot of Christians, you may have even been one of them. A lot of Christians boycotted the movie because of the notion of dogs getting into their heaven was offensive to them. Yeah, there was a lot of people who...
I do believe that we spoke about dogs not getting into heaven, but JWs aren't big on heaven as it is because only some of us get to go. Our theology is a bit wonky.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
We
guess if
live,
you believe
we
in
live
the,
forever on Earth,
uh,
and only 144,000 go to heaven.
right. Who picks those 144,000? Is that an individual on Earth that can be bribed?
Actually, according to JW doctrine, God's Holy Spirit comes upon the person, and they just
Ew.
know.
Ew.
Yeah, it gets
Do they
really
wipe it off?
goofy. Probably not. They probably
They
drink
probably
it.
don't. Oh, that's hot. I mean,
Does
kind
warm
of
it
hot.
down.
Depends on how you are. Yeah. Depends on your
Yeah.
kink.
So that's how they believe. They just think that God tells them that they're one of the chosen people, and so they drink the wine and eat the bread at the memorial of Jesus service, which is the signifier of that they're the ones chosen.
So they don't actually have like a roster of people. Do they actually have a roster? No, they don't have a literal roster.
That's the thing. Like, so at these memorial services that happen every year, they have attendees who count how many people drink of the wine and eat the bread. So they have an idea of how many alleged so-called chosen people there are, but
really
not necessarily an accurate number. So they'll never know when they've reached that 144,000 number. Just, that signals the end of the world.
Yeah. I didn't really see their religion as being one of those swelling in numbers.
Oh, it ain't.
I could be wrong. No, it ain't.
It's not. It is. They're going down.
Yes, and not in the romantic sense.
Not in a good, not in the fun sense. It's very reliable, chick magnate. Trust it.
Trip is here. Good morning, Trip. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great week so far. It's Wednesday. Now, tomorrow, I have no idea what we're talking about tomorrow on the show. But Friday, I think we're probably going to be talking about Battlestar Galactica. And you're in episode 37, so you're motoring right along. You may be done by the time we get to, I don't know, it's the day after tomorrow, the morning after tomorrow. I don't think that's enough time for you guys to get through a whole. But that does give us a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, I think that we'll have plenty to talk. I have a lot of opinions on things, so.
Oh, Dave Murphy has a great question. When did they start counting the 144,000?
I was messaging him back, but I think it was sometime in the 30s, but I don't know for certain. It's been a while since I've looked into their theology about that, but ish. Well, it wasn't an always thing. I don't think it was something that they always believed in.
How many JWs are there?
Allegedly, I think they claim that there's 8 to 9 million, probably 9 million now.
Okay, so I'm just doing the thing. Yeah, 9 million roughly, according to this number. Mm-hmm. What happens to the other that are not?
Oh, the rest of the world?
Yeah, what happens to the rest of the almost 10 million, the 9 million? Yeah, 9 million. What happens to them?
So when Armageddon comes, and Jesus comes to destroy everybody, basically they're just going to die.
Oh, now you don't get your own planet or anything? There's plenty of planets.
No, they're just done. They're done forever, ever.
Oh.
Some people think that there will be chances, like they use Noah as an example and say that people had an opportunity to get on the ark right up until the very last moment, right before the door closed.
Okay.
So they think that there's a possibility that as things start to get a little crazy, that people will, I don't know, come to Jesus, but they're done. Okay. Y'all are dead, basically, just so you know.
So even the other JWs, if you're not part of the 144,000, you're really just kind of wasting your time. You're just like a money thing for the 144,000 who are going. You're just like propping them up until.
Well, you get a paradise all on your own. So if there's 9 million Jehovah's Witnesses and just say they're the only ones who survive, like God's not going to kill you, supposedly.
Oh, I see.
Unless you're, bad. You're not a good JW.
I'm not a good JW. Yeah, there's
bad JWs. And then he'll resurrect. Then God will resurrect all the people who've been judged accordingly to live a good life, and they will get an opportunity to live on a paradisical earth for 1,000 years until they get judged again.
Now I do.
So it's not even the
Really?
first time. Yeah. So you get 1,000 years to get it right. You've got 1,000 years to get it right, to get to perfection. And then God will be like, okay, now this is where humans really should be. Are they good? Have they changed?
This has all happened before. It'll all happen again.
Yeah.
If you're watching Battlestar, you'll get that. Yeah. Here, Sapient Cephalopod pointed out that the 144,000 are men. No vaginas allowed.
That's what some people think. The JWs don't think
Yes.
that, but I'm sure there's some people who believe that.
Well, now let me ask you another question. Are there any people of color, or is it only 144,000 white people, whether men or women?
Well, now that Black people and people of color are allowed to freely attend to get baptized, now they are allowed to be the chosen 144,000. Previously, no. I mean, Black people weren't even allowed to preach. They were they weren't able. They didn't have the brain capacity, is what they thought.
What kind of bottom are you to willingly go into that sort of situation? Not a good one. I mean, there's just a lot of, oh man. Crazy. John Hudson says, no vagina, I ain't gonna go. Right? Can you imagine the smell of the 144,000 lining up? None of them wash their ass, because if they do, that's gay. I'm just saying. Living Without Religion says, well, given a third of the stars will fall into the earth prior to Jesus's return, he won't be returning too much.
Yeah,
and then
fall into the earth. The earth is donezo.
Yeah, it doesn't handle that very well. Yeah, it doesn't really wouldn't work very. And then there's also, what is it? The wormwood, and wormwood actually, isn't it the one that poisons a third of all the waters on the earth?
Oh yeah, is that what the stars called?
Twisted fuck is God to do that, to poison all the people on the earth, to burn. See, the deal of the falling stars is not that they're going to destroy the earth; they're actually going to catch a third of the earth on fire and burn it asunder. So that's what it's about. There's a third of the earth that's going to be poisoned by wormwood, the asteroid that crashes. There's a third of the earth that's going to be burned up. There's a blah, 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 blah. That's kind of, well, I'm just like, really, what kind of horrific creature do they worship?
And if I am a god, I'm a human, I create things, I create children, I wouldn't destroy my creation, my child. So why would God spend 6 days, which might not even be 24-hour days, they could be 1,000 years, allegedly, according to the Bible, each day of creation? You'd spend possibly 6K years on creating the earth and the heavens and then just destroy it? Are you stupid?
There's an answer to that one. Statistically, I think the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
I actually posited that in my book back in 2013 that I wrote, Antitheist, in that, did God really create this? It's like creating a hotel room with a hotel with a million perfect suites, knowing it's never going to fill with people. Nobody's ever going to use it, and that you're going to destroy it. You build it, laying brick by brick, going, nobody's ever going to use this, and then you destroyed it. It's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous story.
Yeah, empty.
Hell's Bells is still here. We didn't traumatize them enough to scare them away. Therapists are standing by. I'm just saying.
The JW religion is depressing. Hell's Bells, very depressing. It's morally depraved, if you ask me.
Yes. I was looking for my dog.
They're the love, hate the sin, not the sinner kind of people. I hate that.
Really? Yeah. Well, I actually apply that. I have to apply that now myself from my own perspective. I don't hate Muslims. I do have a strong disdain for their overarching religion because of what I feel I know. Yes.
Because not all Muslims are
exactly right. Not all Christians. Not all, they're not all atheists, not all blah, not all blah.
Maybe not even all JWs, but I don't know.
Oh, right. Well, JW, well, for every JW that's in there who's going, oh man, this is freaking awesome, there's bound to be one over there going, how do I get the fuck out of here?
There is. I can speak from experience. It's
Yeah.
fear that kept me locked in.
Yeah. Fear. Yes. Religion is all about fear. Geo Sam says short bus kind of love. Right.
A long
Grumpy
walk
Lib-
off a short bus.
That's right. Short bus. Grumpy librarian, hashtag not all Christians. That's true. Very true. Let me see here. I think we saw. Did we see? Okay, there we go. Boom, 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 boom. Hi, patient. I'm just checking all of our stuff to make sure I didn't miss Caitlin Beyond. Good morning. I thought I saw that name. Good morning, Caitlin Beyond. Thank you for joining us. You're late. Welcome to the show. I'm going to go run off real quick and get myself a cup of coffee. What do you think? Goat scented flesh candles or the Pharaoh's Curse?
Come on, guys. What
Anybody?
say you?
What say
Pharaoh's
you? Anybody
Curse?
care? And I'm going to work on more. You know, we've got a good selection of good commercials, but I'm going to work on more. I've got even more in the pipe. Yes. So we'll see what people say here. The Pharaoh's Curse. Oh, Goat scented flesh candles 1-to-1. So it's 1-to-1.
1-to-1.
If you're a betting,
there's a
Pharaoh's
goat.
Curse. And a coat. You know what? I'll do the Pharaoh's Curse now. When I close out the show, I'll throw you some goats. We'll be back in just a minute.
Mi burrito es tan bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco bueno, bueno. It stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister. Now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's Curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's Curse. There's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno. A full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's Curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's Curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno. A full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's Curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's Curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's Curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's Curse, there's fire between my legs.
Yeah. Did you
We're
see
back.
that?
I have not. We're back now, though.
Oh.
You know, I have not. I have to look into it. I've kind of heard certain things, but I haven't really looked into them. Some of it in today's world, it's so easy to manipulate the footage and things that, I mean, the first things we saw when it first came out, you know, from several different sources, we saw the same thing from several different, that kind of made me go, oh yeah, that, you know. But I've also heard, you know, have you heard that they claim his neck stopped the bullet and protect other people? When you look at like the situation, there was nobody behind him directly. I mean,
No, no,
Yeah.
there weren't people direct. They were off to like the sides and stuff,
mhm.
almost as if they were out of the way.
Yes, I've heard that too. Yeah, so there may be who know. I would not be surprised.
No,
He was very much.
I don't
against-
know. I have no
Yeah,
idea. I just think it's a very interesting. I mean, somebody who probably studies that kind of stuff would be able to say whether or not they can tell if that's how it would happen. But it looks compelling. Looks
I'll have to
compelling.
check it out.
Yeah.
Living Without Religion says I have to go, but this was fun. Thank you for the $10 super chat. And just in case, according to Rapture travel tips, make sure you're wearing clean underwear. Yes, you don't want to leave racing stripes in your underwear whenever you ascend to the heavens, because if you do, and we find it, those of us who are left behind, we're going to mock you mercilessly. I'm just saying, right? Am I right? I'm right. Sir Equinox says it could be MAGA's Reichstag fire. That's a good point. Sir Equinox, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I suspect it's kind of similar to there was a German officer who was killed by a couple of Jewish people. And although he was kind of like a nobody, he was a little charismatic, but he's pretty much a nobody. They really lifted him up, kind of like Charlie Kirk has been done. And they did that before the war. They used him to stoke fear and instigate stuff. But then the Reichstag did come later. Our Reichstag was when they burned down their version of Congress, right? So that's kind of what happened. I more actually expect the night of the long knives, whenever Donald Trump literally physically goes after his political opponents. We already know he's threatening to do it with Pam Bondi. She's just not doing it fast enough. And he's trying to use the law. Yeah. Yeah. And unless I'm mistaken, and we haven't talked about this a lot, but unless I'm mistaken, the Supreme Court gave him the power to use SEAL Team 6 to kill his political opponents without repercussions. I believe that happened.
Yeah.
That his Supreme Court brought those things in while Biden was still in office. Yeah, and yet Biden didn't use it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so yeah. I could be wrong. I need to look that one up. Let me just kind of look that one up and see what's going on. Ooh, boo.
I don't know nothing. Good morning, Dan D. And sorry I didn't, Dan, I meant to read out your super chat again on Monday, and I'm sorry I didn't. I thought we. I got to get used to the controls. Hands on the wheel. Hands on the wheel.
Lots of typing.
Lots of typing.
Lots of typing. I'll have to see. Because it kind of did. But I have to look it up. Obviously, it's not that clear. But then again, Donald Trump really hasn't been paying attention to the rules. So what does it matter anyway? But I do want to see that. Furthermore, Trump gets immunity. That was what the deal was. Trump gets immunity from all this shit. Anyway, so we do have, before we go here in just a minute, I want to make sure I don't forget to play my commercial for my friends. The ones who wanted to get it. What was it? The goat scented flesh candles. If the next election doesn't bring change, I'm jumping the fucking wall and going to Mexicali. And it's not a bad thing. I got to be honest. I really think the next, I got opinions about the next election. It's not going to be pretty. I just don't think it's going to be pretty. Donald Trump has so corrupted things. It's going to be so bad. This is where, but again, like I said earlier, at least we won't have to wait. With any luck, it'll all come to a head here in a couple of months and we can get this ship righted.
I think so.
One of the things is I can't think of an example in history, where fascist authoritarians took a democracy, converted it, and it didn't end badly for them. It always ends badly for the authoritarian,
I hope so. I hope Americans have enough common sense to realize this is not how the country is supposed to be won. I mean, they might think that it's good for them currently right now because they're on the winning team. But what if that winning team switches and let's just say it all went to Dems and Dems were like, okay, well, now we're going to fuck you. Would that be right? Would that be the right thing to do? Is that how you want to live in this country? Worried about the next leader being somebody who hates you and thinks you're a piece of shit and talks bad about you in front of other countries, says you're nothing and scumbags and lazy, which is what our president thinks about this country. I think that's deplorable. I don't even think that about Americans. Are some lazy? Sure. I think most of us are hardworking and want good things for each other, but we're being misled by pieces of shit who just want to get rich off of us.
And we don't all have the same opportunities. I mean, oh yeah, I'm lazy. Sure, I'm lazy. I didn't get the money to go to Harvard and I didn't get this paid for me and I didn't have, there's a lot of people out there who claim that the poor people are lazy, but
didn't have the opportunities you
they
did.
just didn't have the opportunities. Yeah, a lot of people don't have the opportunities or the money, to be honest. Legal immunity as president, but so much of his shit was done when he wasn't. How is that? And that's part of the deal. That's complicated too. He tried to make it to where he could do things and claim it was presidential when it wasn't president. That's all complicated. It's all complicated. I am going to run our goat scented flesh candle commercial. Let me do our super chat. Actually, somebody just gave us a super chat. Ian Davenport, super sticker. $10. Thank you, Ian Davenport. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. All of you who support the channel, you're wonderful. Let me see if it tells me more about it over here. Oh, yes, it was a thank you super sticker. Thank you, Ian. Very much appreciate you. And Living Without Religion said, for $10, I have to go, but this was fun. And just in case, according to Rapture travel tips, make sure you're wearing clean underwear, just in case.
Or don't wear any.
Safe. Or don't wear any. Yeah.
No wear underwear.
It's going to be awkward either way.
No matter what you do.
Right. No matter what, wash your butt before you go out is all they're saying.
Make sure, whatever you do, make sure it's clean, please.
Yes. I'm going to, for those of you who like the goat scented flesh candles commercial, I am going to give you some goat. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Ryan, for all your wonderful help today.
Good to see you.
Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll see you for Thursday. Send safely, my friend.
Bye.
Take care.
Love you.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh no, the Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do you do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell. Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat scented.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have...
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the ghost in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats, the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the gold candle, don't even think.